F125 game, as we will be using these F125 cars to go around the Red Bull Ring, also known of course as the A1 Ring or the youngest Malaysian champion ring, because pretty much on all of the 4 efforts of all of our 4 appearances here at this magnificent circuit, nestled right in the middle of the beautiful Styrian mountains, flanneled obviously in the background. You can see the tallest mountains in Europe. It's really a unique scenery, but it's also the track that has the shortest overall lap time, and I have to say I'm absolutely loving it, and I cannot wait to show it to you with obviously still the kind of the old generation cars before we will jump right into the brand new F126 cars to really show you how to master this wonderful circuit, which I've always pretty much been on the podium of, which I've always said the fastest lap time, no matter if it was sprinting, no matter if it was the Grand Prix weekend, and of course because the race often can take place on my happy birthday or the happy wedding anniversary. This is really where you get the best out of the youngest Malaysian champion, as I'm always chasing this beautiful shiny Formula 1 Grand Prix with the trophies. So we will take a look at it. We will start off of course by talking about the track, but looking at the setup, which is absolutely critical so that you can really deliver a magnificent lap time over here, because it will be important to keep the car plenty, but to also have plenty of speed down pretty much the 3 long straights, especially the middle straight, which is very long, but also because there are a lot of the fast chicanes, you really do need a lot of the downforce to be able to kind of send the car, especially into the chicane and into the final 2 corners, where it can easily make up all the time that you lose on the straights. And I think we really nailed the setup. This year we will then do the warm-up, as we will go slowly, take a look at where you get a trophy, take a look at why is it called the Red Bull Ring, why it should really be called youngest Malaysian champion ring, as we will of course also then talk about how successful Ferrari was here at the Austrian Grand Prix. One of our legends, Niki Lauda, obviously competed in this race, and also what changed with the track. It used to be one of the longest tracks, kind of like the Spa-Francorchamps, and now it's one of the shortest. Well, it is the shortest track in terms of the lap time. Monaco, of course, being shortest in terms of the distance, and then we will go on a hard lap, to plant it where? On pole position, like we pretty much always done. That's right, we planted it on 3 poles, but it's really 5 poles if you count the sprint. So without further ado, let me come into the cockpit of this beautiful SF1000 T818 Formula 1 Racing Simulator. We are celebrating happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. Our happy names is already been done. And let's go race, guys, because this is, as Lewis Hamilton said, what really the life is all about. There's pretty much no greater feeling, and I wholeheartedly agree with the 7-time champion. So here we will take our Scarlet Ferrari here to what is effectively here around 10 of the championship, the Austrian Grand Prix, as you can see here on this beautiful 3D calendar. So let's take a look at it, and again you can see the beautiful scenery of the track, with a lot of the Christmas trees, right, and pretty much the coniferous trees. It really provides for a wonderful atmosphere over here. So as you can see, the weather could be very hot like it is now, but you can also see some of the thunderstorms in the background, because it's also quite possible that you could get rainy weather. So definitely you have to be prepared for everything here in Austria. So in order to be prepared for everything, let's go with the setup, which I think works really super well, because it gives you that stability no matter what the conditions are, right? One of the things you don't want to be over here is to have no confidence going into the corners. So we start with the fuel load, so we go for 10 kilograms of the fuel load that's given here in a free trial. Front wing arrow will be at 50, rear wing arrow at 40. And you might be wondering, that's really high wings, right? But that allows you to pretty much have such a responsive front end that it will be easy over here to get through the turns, to get on the power. It's not just about the top speed, it's also about the traction. For the transmission, differential adjustment on throttle is at 100%. So when we apply the throttle here with our champion right feet, we will tell the car exactly where to go, and differential adjustment of throttle will be at 25%, which will allow us, for example, to just send the car into the corner and let it go nicely through the corner. For the suspension geometry, it's all the way to the minimum. Front camber at minus 3.50 degrees, rear camber at minus 2.00 degrees, front toe out at 0.00 degrees, rear toe in at 0.10 degrees. Again, that is pretty much standard. The suspension here, we keep quite extreme. Front suspension at 41, rear suspension at 1, but we will not kind of pair it up with the very high or very low tire pressure. So there are several reasons, of course, for that, but mostly, it is, really to give you the stability over here through the kind of the two different types of this very short circuit. Front anti-roll bar at 1, rear anti-roll bar at 6. So they are very, very soft. And why is that? Because soft anti-roll bars give us that traction. This is really, what we want out of pretty much every turn. There are lots of 90 degrees turns, whether, you attack them at a third or even second, fourth, but even sixth gear. So you gotta be able to have the traction, front ride height at 20 and rear ride height at 47. So that will allow you to stay clear of the bumps, but to pretty much have the right airflow underneath the car. For the brakes, front brake bias at 56%, brake pressure at 100%. There is a specific way you have to brake with this type of a brake setup, and we will definitely discuss it. And tires all the way to the maximum over here. Of course, we do that because we want to get a higher top speed because we are running such a high wind. So front right tire pressure at 29.5 psi per square inch, front left tire pressure at 29.5 psi per square inch, rear right tire pressure will be at 26.5 psi per square inch, rear left tire pressure at 26.5 psi per square inch. And this setup, I was actually really, loving it over here, as you will see throughout the weekend, as we obviously chasing the history here. We've already won here more times than, for example, Michael Schumacher or Niki Lauda, two of the big legends of Scuderia Ferrari. So let's extend our record. Ferrari, of course, has won here 6 times over here, so will be interesting to see if we can get that 7th victory. But me, myself, I could have won here 6 times, already. I've been 6 times on a podium if you can count the sprint. So we are very, very successful at this track, and now it's time to show it to you. Okay, everybody, so over here you can see as our beautiful wheel lit up. So here it will be important to go to about the 6th or the 7th gear, and here you can ride a lot of the curves, but again, be careful with the track limits. Brake hard and try to get very close to the inner wall, in the 4th gear, and then just let the car run out as the beautiful countryside over here opens up. So we will go 4th, 5th, 6th gear. Obviously, great grandstands over here. You can see where we will be collecting the trophy. Definitely, that's what we aiming for. Oh yeah! Yeah, here is the podium, right in the middle, so that's pretty handy for all of the spectators. And yeah, then obviously here, so you are gonna be, approaching this turn. Obviously there will be a straight mode. It will be interesting when the car start run out of the battery in the Formula 1 2026-2026 season. You brake in between the 150 meter board, and the best thing is to go to the 4th gear, hit that yellow curve a little bit, but not too much, so you stay within the track limits, run a little bit wide. Again, active arrow over here will be a big deal. Before, obviously, it was the track reduction system, the DRS, and here you have to go through the gears very quickly. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th gear, and it is important. This is obviously the turn to the king. In the motorcycles, there was the nasty accident when Valentino Rossi almost got collected. But here for us in a Formula 1 car, we'll probably run out of the power over here. That's what I expect. So we can even brake after the 100 meter board, and you have to brake with authority, because a lot of the times, remember Verstappen and Leclerc in 2019, the car that's on the inside can easily run you wide, because the track kind of narrows down and then opens up again. There's a good run of area. Rosberg, Hamilton, for example, also have its history over here, but it is actually all about the traction going up the hill. It is very important not to go the full power, go through, especially the 3rd gear, which the car tends to spin on a lot, and then you are able to deliver a really good, exit. Obviously, here you would be also using a lot of the boost and the battery so that you can easily defend, for example, or attack here in for us as Scuderia Ferrari, it will be attack into this turn around the Pirelli sign. You brake very hard to the third gear and take a lot of the inner curve. You can take the other curve too, but again, it is important to get on a traction. As you can see that bull over there, obviously Red Bull bought the track, and returned it to the calendar in 2014. You can see over there how that icon of this circuit looks like. Obviously one of our biggest challengers, but yeah, this is, I think, the greatest thing Red Bull has done to bring it back. This turn 7 gear, you will be approaching it. You have to downshift very quickly to the 5th gear. In order, to kind of hug the inside curve, but don't touch it, so you don't spin the car around, run wide. Once you know the car can make it, go for it, because if not, Vettel can overtake you like he did to me when we were racing in 2016 here. This chicane is magnificent in terms of the G-forces, so you really have to be trained well. You really want to take a bit of a curve over here, but if you can take it at a 6th gear, here you have to send the car in and then pretty much help yourself, especially with the energy, the battery power, which now you should be able to recharge, because in lots of the other corners you will not be going at a full throttle. So we fully expect the car will be recharged, and then you go to the final 2 corners. Just be careful when you go to the pits so that you don't again spin out. But yeah, you can see it is a very, very short track. So now let's go on a hot lap. Yeah, this one is a champion. Let's go, come on, Jan. Let's go, Jan, come on. Happy birthday, happy birthday anniversary, Jan Svalik's champion. This is the Svalik's champion reign. Wow, look at it. That was, we almost lost it over there. This is the hot lap, come on, Jan. The car is all over the place, but let's go, Jan, come on. Let's go, Jan, Svalik's champion. Let's go, Jan, come on. But this hot lap was difficult to pull in, I have to say. You can see, we love the fact that it is so quick, but you could see, that, breaking into that first turn, we were definitely a bit off the line, almost cost us, the exit over there, but at least we stayed within the limits. Again, remember, I think last year when we did the F125, the new hot lap, we actually ran a little bit wide, but yeah, great setup, but I didn't stay within the 2 seconds over here. I guess I was already celebrating over here, my happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary, but that won't be the case in a red hot lap, where we will actually go significantly quicker. So definitely check it out. Hope you love it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is how we master the A1 ring over here. Okay. And again, we just, want to, tell you over here that, again, it's a wonderful, wonderful scenery, but, it is always very, very important over here that you don't celebrate early, because it's happy birthday! And you know what this sign means, right? Definitely you do. So yeah, over here, this is how you master this magnificent track. And we definitely hope that as Scuderia Ferrari we will be very, very competitive over here. It's kind of maybe similar to Australia in terms of having lots of the long straights without any position for the recharging, but we are on it. Again, the new package and the rules are working really well, because basically now everybody has the right, the legal sort of combustion engine. And of course, we cannot wait, for Ferrari, hopefully over here, to put it on what should really be the 9th pole position. We could also, get the 6th fastest lap, and we've been on the podium 29 times, so we cannot wait to see what happens there. This was the hot lap here with the F125 cars, and definitely stay tuned for the F126, which is coming up just shortly later, when we then put on our long sleeve fashion, because maybe there will be a big rain here in Austria, and the Red Bull ring, A1 ring, the so-called, the Svalik's champion ring, right? That's right. So now all I can say is, you know how to master it. Let's plan that Scuderia Scarlet Red Ferrari on pole position and let's race. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Svalixan champion. Happy birthday to you. We love racing. We love Formula 1. We love Ferrari. Forza Ferrari.